Hey guys, Jabber Game Jaws here. So I heard some news that I thought was very noteworthy and worthy of talking about, and something that I'm really excited about. I'm very excited to get into the next generation of gaming. This generation of gaming has been awesome. I basically experienced almost everything that the PS4 has to offer. I milked it for just like every ounce of goodness, which was a ton of goodness. I am going to have nostalgia for the PS4 for years and years to come. Eventually, with the PS4, I got to a point where I had kind of played most of the exclusives that I wanted to, and there were just a few games that I really wanted to replay that were multi-plats, so of course I got my Xbox One X, and that was really like the jolt that I kind of needed at the time. I also got like a really nice 4K TV with really good HDR, and that also, like, those two things paired together was just like, I literally felt like I was in a new generation of gaming. So very exciting, and it's kind of nice right now. There's a few more exclusives coming out for the PS4 that are going to be heavy hitters. I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about if you follow the PS4 at all, so I won't labor about those. But so I heard a rumor that the PlayStation 5 is going to be launched with a base model and a pro model. And that made me really excited. I have thought for the longest time, there's been I love console gaming so freaking much. But there's always been this part of me that's kind of like leaned towards, man, should I jump over to PC gaming? I think that honestly, like, it's kind of getting to this point though, like playing on the Xbox One X, I am freaking impressed. Like, and especially playing on my big, huge 4K TV with HDR, like, it is just damn good shit. Like, The Witcher 3 in 4K with HDR running at a very solid 30 frames a second. It's not 60 frames like I would like it to be, but the fact that it's like there's not a single mishap, it's all like 30 frames perfectly. That's really nice. So now I'm like, man, this next generation could really be something else. So obviously the base PS5 should be a humongous jump from what we've been experiencing on the PS4 Pro or the Xbox One X. So that's exciting. And so to me though, if they come out with a pro model at the same time, I mean, for me that would be amazing. I think that it's kind of getting to this point where we should, as consumers, be able to handle this sort of thing. People like do this with phones all the time. Like the newest iPhone will come out and there'll be like three different versions of it: a smaller version, a pro version. Like lots of extra bells and whistles. Like, I think that we're at a point where the consumers are savvy enough to, like, okay, yeah, so it'll play all of the games. This one's going to have this feature, that one's going to have that feature. This one's a little smaller, this one is cheaper, this one's more expensive, but it has this. Like, that's like a totally legit thing, I think, to do in 2019 going into 2020 when it will be. So I think that's awesome. And I think that it is a smart move on Sony's part, because if they were to come out with just the Pro model, and I'm guessing what they're going to be having to put in it, it's going to be pretty pricey. I would think $699, maybe $799 for a Pro model, and that is way too much to ask for. I don't know, moms and dads who are buying a console for their kids. Like, that's pretty expensive. But for the crazy enthusiasts like myself and maybe a lot of you guys, that's a nice option to have. Like, I would so much rather, like, just out the gate just be firing on all cylinders, and make it feel like a really new generation of gaming. Like, give that sensation of, this is awesome, this is not something that we were able to do on last generation hardware. So I would be really down for that, and I would be down to pay whatever I have to pay to get the most powerful thing. It's kind of like if I was to go out and buy a PC. Another thing that's kind of held me back is I know that in order to make it worth it to get something that's going to be freaking awesome, I really, need to spend a lot of money. So I'm okay with spending a decent amount of money to be able to stay playing on a console, which is something that I just do kind of prefer. And being able to get all of that power still would just be awesome. I love that idea so much. And I think that if they come out with a base model that's maybe like $399 or $499, and obviously still going to be a much better experience and more powerful than even the PS4 Pro that we've been, dealing with so far. I think that's a really good move. I've heard people talking about how this is bad, this is not a good move. One point that someone did raise that I thought was maybe, legit. They said, like, where does that leave us in 2 or 3 years from now with doing another Pro model? In my mind, I'm like, well, let's just do another Pro model. Like, let's do something. Obviously, it wouldn't be the Pro model. If you're doing the PS5 Pro at launch, it would have to be called something different. But like, I don't see why there couldn't be another reboot. Like, in this generation, I had my console, and then 2 years later, I traded it in, and I got a Pro. Hardware is not something that you're like stuck with. And there's always people at all parts. A lot of people are still playing on their base PS4s and never really wanted to boost up to the Pro. So, for them, it's okay. I don't know. I'm really excited about this. I'm really excited about the next generation of gaming. I'm dying to get to that point. It's kind of like we're just wrapping this generation up, and it's like, okay, let's go. Come on, I'm ready. I am so ready. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Are you excited about a PS5 base model and a Pro model being launched at the same time? Do you think it's a good idea? Would you go for the Pro model, do you think? Would you go for the base model? Obviously, we don't know the exact differences, but man, if there's anything possible to get me towards clear 4K, solid HDR, and a solid 60 frames a second, like, dude, I will feel like I've died and gone to heaven, and I'll stay gaming like that for the rest of my life, to be honest. At that point, I don't know that I really need anything more. All right, guys, Jebber Gaming Jaws signing off. Have a good one.